Hey guys, Joe here, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to be a better Gwent player. For the purpose of this guide, we'll be assuming that you already know how to play Gwent. If you're still learning how to play Gwent, check out our video in the description below. The first thing you want to understand is each Gwent deck. There are 4 deck types featured in Gwent, and each one has a special bonus to that particular deck. The Northern Realms deck allows players to receive 1 additional card every time they win a round. If you're using the Nilfgaard deck and the round ends in a draw, you automatically win the round. The Scoia'tael deck will allow the user to choose who begins the round, and the Monsters deck allows you to keep 1 random unit card on the side of the board. One of the biggest things you're going to want to keep in mind while playing Gwent is knowing when to walk away. Sometimes you just won't be able to win, or other times you'll smoke the opponents without losing a single power crystal. No matter the outcome, it's always good to know when you should pass and finish out a round. Generally, you're going to want to avoid using your strongest cards earlier in the match. Sometimes it's better to live to fight another day. Be wary of your weather cards. They hurt your opponent, but they also will hurt you. Make sure you have plenty of cards for each panel of the board. Otherwise, you leave yourself susceptible to getting wiped out by 1 weather card. Make sure you look at your deck and start building to what you think are your strengths. You should be trying to find a balance between unit and some weather and special cards. By having too many cards, you're lowering your chances of getting some of your better cards drawn. A good rule of thumb is making sure your deck's overall strength is above 100 for a 22 unit card deck. You don't need to use all of the 10 special card slots. They are helpful, but having too many of them will saturate your deck, and will possibly leave you with less unit cards to use in your matches. Try and buy every Gwent card you encounter in the world. Sometimes vendors won't be available to you later on, so you might as well buy them while you have the chance.
That ought to set me straight.
Another thing to keep in mind while playing Gwent is to build up your combos. Cards with special abilities like Muster can allow you to pull multiple cards with the same name from your deck. Morale boosts are also fantastic for quickly building up your score. Many times these cards will allow you to double the power of every card within a particular panel on the board. These can add up quickly, so try and strategically build your deck and place your cards so you can get the most out of them. You should also be trying to draw as many cards as you can throughout a match. Since you only start with 10, unit cards that allow you to dive into your deck are great. These cards, called spy cards, actually go to your opponent's side of the field, and although that means upping their power level, you'll be able to draw 2 additional cards from your deck. If you do draw a spy card, make sure you play it early. You'll end up with more cards for the rest of the match. A great way to use your spy card is to make sure you have a weather card that affects that particular panel. For example, if you play a spy card that is a ranged unit and use an impenetrable fog right after that, you get the bonus of picking 2 cards and you only add 1 power to your opponent. One last thing I want to mention, don't worry so much about the first round. It's the first round for a reason, and you can easily make a comeback and finish your opponent off. If you see them coming at you really offensively, try and stall, make them waste some cards, and then make your comeback in rounds 2 and 3. This strategy has worked for me time and time again, so try and be as patient as you can. There you go guys, there's some tips for how to become a better Gwent player. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. And for other Witcher 3 guide content, subscribe and head on over to Shacknews.com.